Bonjour, namaste, hello, and ciao, and welcome to the future of plate, the podcast that chews on the big question about food, fairness, and what's on our table tomorrow. I'm your host, Harpreet Singh. Today we are diving into one of the most pressing social and economic issues of our time: food security. It's not just about having enough food, but having access to nutritious, affordable food that sustains a healthy life. And for millions, that access is like challenging, very challenging. So let's start by identifying the core challenge first. The most obvious is economic access. Healthy organic fresh fruit is often priced as luxury food, making it unattainable for low income families. The second intertwined challenge is geographical access, what we call food deserts. There are urban or rural areas where grocery stores with fresh produce are miles away, but fast food chains or convenience stores selling processed food are on every corner. And the third challenge is knowledge and time barrier. Even if affordable, healthy food is available, knowing how to prepare it quickly and nutritiously on a tight schedule is another hurdle. Uh, the notes I have here hit the nail on the head. They point to the exploitment of organic, highlighting how a movement meant for good can become exclusive club, leaving the most vulnerable behind. I was struck by a concrete example from my notes, a story about a woman in a village, just reliant on a cheap, self-stable food at her local bed, like a typo for. She was just living, and like she was a single mother with 3 children. She saw me. I always remember that there is no way. Like she had infant. It was heartbreaking because she was reliant on shelf food, and she couldn't sustain herself. She was come from a low income family. She lived in a village, and which was about 45 minutes drive from a big store. So whole her life she just ate what was like 1 month or 2 months old canned food. So can you reflect more on the topic? I would like my colleagues to reflect more on the topic.
So what you pointed here is that with especially this example of a single mother, is that access to sustainable food is sometimes, as you said, very challenging, and because of the money you earning, that sometimes is not enough, and sometimes you can, like you said also, the schedule, the time that you spend in social life sometimes is too long, so you don't have the time to take care of those kind of things, to eat healthy things. We can also think about like the food habits. It's not a question of of access, but it's also a question of are people willing to eat sustainable also. So food habits can be also a very good a very big challenge for people. Like you can think about my country in Belgium. People eat a lot of meat, which is not very sustainable, and they don't want to stop that habit because it is a habit, and they are just not willing to change because for them it's the way it is. And especially for what you pointed with the schedule, the time you spend in the social life, what is really interesting is that sustainable food is not only bio food. It's not only things that you can buy at a supermarket. It's also things that you can grow at your own house. But because of this schedule, because of this time you don't have in the social life, you can't do that. And you don't have access to this kind of this type of produce, choosing food, because you just don't have the time. So it's also, like you said, a very social question, an economical question. That's what you pointed very well.
Okay. Okay, so I would like Maria Antonietta, who is from Italy, and I've been studying there like for the past 8 months. So I would like you to throw some light on the topic.
I think, hi, I'm Maria Antonietta. I'm 21 years old and I live in Italy. And I think also a big factor that makes the sustainable food ecosystem to implement in the daily lives of people is the climate change, because climate change is affecting a lot of our food industries. For example, in Italy, in the south, from where I'm from, the region has been affected by water scarcity and the increase of a hot climate that makes harder to harvest the local produce. And also this increasing of hot weather, the introduction of furnace products with no regulation harvest a ecosystem that made possible of a dangerous parasite for the olive oil tree, who is a important and crucial aspect for the economics of my region, to die. So there was a decrease in the olive oil produce, and a lot of people have lost jobs because of it. And the government didn't do nothing. The only thing that they do was cutting trees, but they didn't stop the problem.
So I would like to add like how it will look in 2050, like the upcoming 25 years, how the problem is, I think, gonna be solved or not, and how it may look like. My reflection is one of cautious optimism. By 2050, I believe the stark divide between healthy food for the wealthy and survival food for the poor. Unfortunately, this is what we are seeing today. Like, I come from a part, Asia, which is on the eastern side, and it's like pretty different from what we are used to see in Europe. So the word organic might fade as a premium marketing term because regenerative and hyperlocal agriculture becomes the new baseline standard for food production. Instead of sprawling industrial farms supplying distinct cities, I imagine a network of more decentralized, community-focused system will be a good option for everyone. Like, we should uplift our neighbors. Like, if they don't have enough money, maybe we can at least give them a good meal, share meals with them. That would be a great option. Yeah. Urban landscape will be transformed. Vacant lots and repurposed building will house vertical aquatic farms and mushroom colonies growing on recycled waste. Rooftops will be lush with vegetable gardens managed by community cooperation, where residents of that building can work and share the harvest in the building. Technology will be a great equalizer. AI-driven apps will perfectly manage the supply and demand for local micro farms, minimizing waste. Automated, affordable kitchen pods in housing projects could help people with little time quickly prepare healthy meals from fresh local ingredients that grow in their garden or terrace or rooftop. The economy of food will shift. The value of food won't just be its price tag, but its nutritional value, density, and low environmental impact. Basic nutrition food might be heavily subsidized or even considered a public utility, much like clean water is today. This is all what I will should be for everybody in upcoming 25 years. That was it. That was my time, and hope you liked my points. And Alex or Maria Antonieta, would you like to share something?
Yeah, I think it's very important and interesting what you said, because you presented like many ways, many local ways to produce food, and many local and sustainable ways to produce food. And it's very interesting. And you know, when I tried to answer to that question, I was like, okay, you know, one day, like in the future, the economy won't last. The economy cannot hold on as it is today. So, economy for most country is based on industry, on intensive industry, intensive way of producing food. And as you said, with the climate change, with the biodiversity crisis, it won't be possible anymore. And so the point with we will have to force ourselves to produce locally. And so all the solutions are very interesting. And I was like, if the economy continues on that way, like the international economy, especially because it's international lobbies that that are producing the food mostly, it's gonna collapse, and we will have to bounce back. We will have to be resilient, and this way is a good way to be resilient. And I was also thinking, because you gave an example with your country, and it's a specific environment, it's a specific place. And I asked myself the question, do people that live in an environment that cannot provide them enough food sustainably, will they be able, those people, will they be able to survive? And I was like, maybe it's possible with more producing locally. Is it possible also to still produce internationally, for people that need it, but always most of the people on the planet should not rely on international produce, on the international way to produce
Like we
food.
have technology of cloud seeding and stuff like that. And what I believe AI is like very new, and until 2050 it will be like it can do anything. So hope for the best. That was our time. Thank you for listening to us. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Bye bye.